Class enchantments were first introduced in the Dungeons & Dragons Adventures in the Forgotten Realms set in July of 2021. At first glance, they look like saga cards, most recently from Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. These enchantments, however, act very differently. They basically act like classes do in D&D, turning ourselves into that specific class and gaining those abilities in-game. First off though, class cards are enchantments, so enchantment cost reduction, enchantment triggered abilities, and so forth will work with them. Let's take Sorcerer class as our example. I'll go ahead and hide the other text so we can take this step by step. When we cast Sorcerer class, we see that when it enters, we draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards. Every class enters at level 1. Older creature level up cards that are similar start at level 0. And Rule 717.4 states, some older creature cards called leveler cards have level up abilities that add level counters to them. These are not the same as class level abilities. Level counters do not interact with class cards, and class levels do not interact with leveler cards. See Rule 702.87 level up and Rule 711 leveler cards. So with our level 1 class, it only does the first lines of text. In order to advance to the next level of our class, we need to pay the activated ability cost. In this case, we pay a blue and a red, and voila, we are now a level 2 sorcerer. We can now activate everything up to this point on the card, so our creatures now gain mana abilities to cast instants, sorceries, or to gain a class level. Note, you can only activate class levels at sorcery speed, or only on your main phases. Now with enough mana, we can activate our last class level. In this case, we pay 3 blue, red, and we gain the last ability, or level 3. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, that spell deals damage to each opponent equal to the number of instants and sorceries you've cast this turn. Pretty powerful stuff. But what happens to the level 1 and 2 abilities? Do we lose them? No, we do not. Sagas activate one after another and only trigger once for each of its stages. But in the case of these classes, we get to keep each ability for as long as it stays out. So now our creatures can tap for mana and our instants and sorceries deal damage to opponents. Each class has some sort of triggered effect, and it's not always on level 1. For instance, Druid class's level 1 ability is static instead of a one-off, which you'll see moved to level 3. Note, you cannot activate level 3 without first activating level 2. That would essentially be skipping that level in your training. You can't learn to run until you've learned to walk, right? Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video helped. Make sure to check out my other explanation videos in the Magic for Beginners playlist. Make sure you like, subscribe, and tell me what class is your favorite in the comments below. Thanks again, and I'll see you next week for your weekly dose of magic.